American Sports Connection. I'm your host, the one and only Joey Railroads. I'm here with my good buddy Ryan Ennis. Ryan, how's it going, man?
Everything's good, man. How are you?
Well, finally, spring is here.
Is it, though?
Well, it's kind of warm here.
Yeah, but it could be cold again tomorrow, right?
It's supposed to be like 75 here tomorrow.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool beans then.
But I'm like, I don't want to get out the shorts and stuff yet because it's funny you mentioned it. It's supposed to cool off on Sunday.
Yeah, I got my shorts out.
I'm still rocking the sweatpants, trying to look like, what do they call it, the single dad look?
Oh, yeah, no. I got my shorts because we're going to be in Mexico in a couple days.
Yeah, you're probably excited, man.
Oh, I'm super excited, bro. It's, I like traveling. I don't like flying, though, so I'm not really looking forward to that, but... I can't get there without flying.
It's funny you mentioned not liking flying. The last time I went flying in an airplane, the flight I was on had dueling, screaming babies.
Man, that sucks, but, I mean, it's...
And, like, crappy turbulence to the point of where I got, like, nauseous and, like, almost, like, seasick in a way.
Oh, yeah, no. During most landings, I have to just, zone out because I'm not a big fan.
At least, like, when I fly Southwest because...
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, because you could pick, like, or there's no assigned seats. You could kind of sit wherever.
Okay.
Because I like trying to get on the end. Like, in case I gotta, like, get out and go to the bathroom or stretch my leg or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not a very big fan of fucking flying.
It's funny you mentioned this because I wanted to, like, try going on, like, Amtrak or something, but then you see all these, like, fucking derailments. You're like, man, I don't know if I want to do that.
Are there really that many, though? I mean, think about how many successful fucking rides there are. I mean, every day there's probably thousands of successful,
Yeah, that's true. Well, because didn't you used to take it?
I would occasionally take Amtrak, yeah. I mean, usually it was Greyhound, but Amtrak was so fucking expensive, bro. Amtrak's super expensive.
Yeah, I noticed that.
It was like $200 from here to Baltimore.
Whew.
Yeah, that's just not cheap, bro.
You could go from here to Dallas for that.
On what?
On Southwest.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But before we get rolling for tonight, don't forget to check out our social media stuff. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at ASC Pods. You can find our entire catalog on B Plus Player Radio. Check them out on Twitter, at B Plus Radio. Check out their sponsors over at audible.com. You can find all kind of cool ebooks and stuff over there. Get 30 days free at audibletrial.com/B+players. And don't forget to check out our sponsors over at Too Sweet Magazine. Find them on Twitter at 2TOO Sweet Mag. Lance is saying he went first class over to the UK and was treated like a king.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah. First class is a different experience, it's just... I don't know, I don't panic about many things. Travel is one of those things that just always has me uneasy. Always has, I mean, I'm a fairly, smooth going customer otherwise.
You're like my uncle. He doesn't like flying. He'll drink Bloody Marys the whole way.
It's not even like I'm afraid of it crashing. It's just, I don't know what it is. Like, I don't give a shit about it. I mean, like, if I'm up in a plane and it goes down, I'm gonna die. I mean, like, I understand that. I mean, it's...
Yeah. I know. Like, you can't put your finger on it. It's just something.
Yeah, it's not even the act of flying. I mean, like, when I was a kid, I loved it. It's just... Once we get to the destination, I'm fine, because it's like the last time when we went down to Dominican Republic for our wedding. I don't know why my wife did this, but we had like half hour to make a fucking connecting flight, into like a connecting international flight. And I was like, why would we do this? Thank the Lord, baby Jesus, the second flight was late, but it was such a small window, because even once it lands, it has to taxi in, and then they have to pull out the thing. And I'm like, we're going to miss our fucking plane to our wedding.
That's
we didn't,
funny.
thank the Lord. But, yeah, no, it's just one flight, and then I think tomorrow night when we touch down, like, because I don't want to drink the night before we get on the cruise. I think we're just gonna go to the movies tomorrow and go see Us.
Ooh, I want to see that.
So do I. And you know me, I'm not really a horror movie guy, but I don't like gore. But if it's gonna be a new take on horror, like I'm all for it.
It looks like a very interesting movie.
Yes, and it could go one of two ways. It could be great or it could be awful.
Like when I went to go see Cabin Fever in the theaters.
I went to go see White Noise in the theaters, getting all hype as fuck, and that movie was
That's
awful.
how I was with Cabin Fever, and then I had the fucking dude that played Corey from Boy Meets World in it.
Oh boy.
And I thought it was going to be like good, and then I'm like 45 minutes in, and I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? or the Village.
Oh, M. Night Shyamalan?
I hated that movie.
Yeah, I wasn't all for the whole twist that they were really living in current day times, just in a fucking cornfield somewhere.
Yeah, that was really bad. Dang, Lance, it's been a while for you. He said the last movie he saw in the theater was Terminator 3, Rise of the Machine.
I think the last one I saw was Halloween.
The recent one?
Yeah.
I still haven't seen that.
I don't know if I liked it. I mean, it's just I always liked the Halloween series the most, but I don't know.
Dan, the dude that we know, he loves Halloween.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty nifty. Sequel, because it's just a direct sequel after the second one.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Like, I really had very little to complain about. I don't typically like scare, gore, horror, like, serial killer horror. Like, to me, it's such a overused trope.
Mm-hmm.
But I liked the first Scream, because it was a different take on the horror genre.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to this, because this seems like it's going to be something that I've never seen before.
Yeah, like people thinking outside the box.
Yeah, and I've really looked forward to it. I mean, like, I'm pretty sure the music in the trailer had a lot to do with it, but that's why they used music in trailer to hook.
Yeah, to hook you in.
People. So yeah, I think it's a dine-in movie theater.
Really?
Yeah, so it'll be nice.
I'll tell you one thing real quick, and then we'll get into some other stuff. There's theaters around here where they have like almost like lazy boy recliners you can watch movies in.
Yeah, that's most of them here in New York now. Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Why?
I'd fall asleep.
Oh, bro, oh man, it's so much better than having to sit up.
No, I mean I would get like really comfy, and I don't care like how good the movie was, I would fall asleep.
Oh, bro, I mean, but it's worth it if you're taking your kid to go see some of these fucking kiddie movies, bro. I'm telling you.
That's fair.
No, they're really comfortable, and this place seems real cool. My wife found it. So I figured dinner and a movie. I think that may be a thing that her and I do if we go places and have time. Maybe go to a movie in a different city. Yeah,
I had a funny story. When I was at Tremont Student Show on Monday, we were talking to this guy while we're waiting to get in, and little man's telling him about Captain Marvel, And he goes, oh, he's like, I'm from Baltimore. He goes, do you guys have $5 movies up here too on like Tuesdays? I was like, no.
That's so funny.
He's like, what do you mean no? I was like, dude, the cheapest we get is like $11 for a matinee.
Yeah, right? No, but I mean, I'm looking forward to be hype once we get off the plane and once we landed. Then it's like, I'm lying. Once we check into the hotel. Because I worry about everything, bro. That's one thing nobody really knows about me. I fucking worry about everything. What if the hotel isn't booked? What if, there's something wrong with the cruise? Like, it just, bro, I'm the fucking worst.
Go take a puff and sit in the corner.
Bro, that just makes it worse because I'm so used to smoking weed that it's just like me being normal. Like, that's how I'd go wire up electrical panels. Like, I tell that to normal people, and they're like, that's crazy. You'd smoke weed and go do electrical work. It's like, yeah, I would do it so much better when I was high.
That's funny.
Like, infinitely better when I was high. Like, my boss would come in and take pictures of it, show it to the other guys, and say, why can't your work look like this? And I was high as fucking balls.
All right, we got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Oh, do we?
One thing I wanted to bring up, and I mentioned it to you, Kurt Angle on Raw this past week wrestling Samoa Joe.
I don't think I ever got around to watching it. Because I kind of skipped around with Raw this weekend. After you told me, I really didn't watch it.
Yeah, someone sent me the clip of it. For those that don't know what I'm talking about, Samoa Joe went to
yeah.
He went to do a snap suplex, and it looked like Angle didn't kind of go with it, and it turned into a DDT kind of, and Angle got like spiked almost on his head.
Yeah, it didn't look too good. So,
but I read he's okay, but it looks scary.
Yeah, especially at his age and his condition, it's.
Well, I posted it on my personal Facebook page. I said, no disrespect to Kurt Angle and every achievement that he has, in his career, because he's all-time great. But watching him wrestle now is very sad.
Yeah, he looks so restricted when he's in the ring.
Just awkward movements.
Yeah, it's just he's very limited with what he could do because of all the shit that's happened to his body over time. And it's sad. I mean, it's like when you think of how amazing he was. I mean, he still is amazing to be moving around like that at his age. I'm not going to take anything from the man.
No.
But still, like, I don't know exactly how they're going to get out of Baron Corbin, but I still can't believe that they're going to have Baron Corbin be his last match. I just don't believe it.
I know, it's weird, isn't it?
They're going to have to do something. It's going to have to end up being John Cena. Right?
You mean Ernest?
Yeah, fucking Ernest.
He looks so weird with the hair.
Oh, yeah. I'm never going to get used to John Cena with hair.
I agree, Lance. He says that, if Angle wants a few more matches, he deserves it. I agree, or earned it. But I also agree that he's like glass. He looks super brittle in there.
He does. And that's what's kind of sad about it is because compared to anybody else, I mean, like, he's still fantastic. He's still probably a better athlete than half of these guys. It's just that his body just doesn't work that way anymore.
Yeah.
There's so many miles on that body, even before he was a wrestler. I mean, he suffered a broken neck before he even got into pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Which is insane to think about.
It's just, I don't know, man. In a way, I just want to see him retire.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean that in the most respectful way possible. It's like, I understand. I think he wanted some, like his youngest kids to see him wrestle or something.
Yeah.
But it's He's a shadow of what he used to be.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and then they had that weird thing with AJ on SmackDown with him, and
Yeah,
Orton
that
came
was
out almost
really
immediate.
weird.
Yeah, what I didn't get is Orton comes out almost immediately to ruin it. So it wasn't even like super heel heat because like it was in the middle of a really good match. Like the match didn't even really get to start.
Yeah, it's like as they say, let it simmer, I guess you would say.
Well, but then AJ isn't even the one who got the comeuppance on Orton. It was Angle.
Yeah.
So all it really did was ruin the match. Which maybe it was because they didn't think that Kurt could go with AJ.
Maybe, or they were protecting him from himself after he spiked his head on Raw.
I mean, it wouldn't put it past me, put it past Vince to do something like that. Like, book one match with the sole intention of having another match.
Yeah.
I mean, he's done that many a times. He did that with fucking Evolution. With remember, he announced it was leaked or whatever that it was going to be Alexa versus Trish, and it ended up being that stupid tag match all along.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know, but you want to talk about? Let's talk about some stupid booking. What the fuck is going on with the women's title match?
Yeah, that's really weird.
Because I was sitting there and my wife is here, and it's like, I'm like, oh my god, they're not really gonna give her the title. And my wife is like, well, how do you know? And I just started explaining it, and everything that I was explained fucking happened, and it just makes no sense. She's like, you got everything right. I said, yeah. I said, I don't know why I got everything right.
It was just by chance.
Yeah, man, it's just not a good chance either. Like, I don't agree with doing this to Asuka. Like, they have such a shitty history with Japanese talent, from Taka, who I don't think ever got a good shake.
No.
What's his name? Kenzo Suzuki.
Yeah.
I mean, he was originally going to be portraying a guy named Hirohito. You know who Hirohito was? The fucking either Emperor of Japan or the general of the Japanese army.
Oh wow!
And he was supposed to be the reincarnated Hirohito or some bullshit like that. And there's even a fucking promo for it before Vince realized, like, maybe we shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, that's bad. Because
it really wouldn't be too much lower than, I don't want to say Hitler, because Hitler's really low on that list, but like Stalin.
But you're getting there.
Or Lenin. Like, not somebody who was good.
Lance is saying maybe that they're going to unify the titles at Mania.
Yeah, I also heard a caveat that it would be whoever wins the title that they pin. So theoretically, either Charlotte or Ronda could walk away as a dual champion, where Becky has a chance to walk away as either champion.
Well, because remember what I initially messaged you about after Asuka lost was my thought was that Becky would make Ronda either tap or pin her, and Becky would be the Raw champion, and then they had a built-in feud that Charlotte beat Asuka so they could revisit that.
I've heard from multiple places that a lot of it has to do with Vince wants the final image to be Sasha, Bayley, and Becky and Charlotte all with titles at the end of WrestleMania.
That doesn't shock me. All of the four horsewomen.
Exactly, but what bothers me is that it was done at the expense of Asuka. Bro, they were promoting that fatal four-way match between Sonya, Mandy, Naomi, and Carmella hours before SmackDown started.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like, it was on social media.
And from what I read, he literally changed his mind as the show started.
Yeah, so I mean, I wonder if, did you hear about ESPN?
No.
They listed both Becky Lynch's WWE achievements and Ronda Rousey's UFC and WWE achievements, and the caption on the Charlotte Flair was Hall of Fame Ric Flair's daughter.
Oh, wow.
She took a lot of, she put out a tweet about it, but this was the same day. I have a feeling that went out, and Vince was like, no. Like, that's not who she is. Like, Vince panicked when, like, oh my god, ESPN just has her as Ric Flair's daughter, and felt like he needed to add something more to the match.
Stupid.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's also a big mistake on ESPN's part, seeing that at the time she was tied for second most all time. Like, she's become, I think, the all time. She just beat Trish's record.
Yeah, it's almost like they want her to have as many title reigns as her dad.
Well, I mean, how long was Trish really wrestling for that she had all of these title reigns in? You know what I mean? Like, Bro, Rock, with all of his title reigns, averaged no more than 40 days per title reign.
He was usually the guy that was chasing it.
Bro, he was like a transitional champion every single time.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, he was great, but like he would win the title, it would mean a lot, but it would just be shifted immediately back to somebody else.
You got a point.
I forget how many total he has, but his total, like, I think his total, like, he has maybe a year total with the belt.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's he never had a long title reign. Like, fucking Jinder Mahal's title reign is longer than Undertaker's longest title reign.
I do believe that.
I mean, there's just some guys who never had long fucking title reigns. I mean, and then you got Brock, who just doesn't give up the fucking,
Yeah.
they don't take the title off of him, and it's...
Speaking of Undertaker, have you seen the recent photo going around of him?
I saw one of him in a plane, and then I saw one yesterday where he has gray hair. I think that picture on the plane was quite a while ago.
Because I saw one, I can't remember where it was at, but he looks really good, like he lost a lot of weight.
Was it when he was in front of the food box?
I think.
Yeah, I saw one where it's like he's down 20 pounds and like don't count me out. I don't know if it was an advert, like a fucking testimonial for the food box, or if he legitimately is coming back, like to, work a bit. I know he's doing Saudi Arabia. That's already been confirmed.
Yeah, I was going to say, I read that he's doing that event. I mean, I don't, nobody knows if he's doing anything for Mania.
I mean, but I'm pretty sure he had dark hair when he did the Jesus thing.
Yeah, I want to say yeah.
And that was about a month ago, so for people who was talking about, his dark hair is indicative of him showing up at Mania, that means he's going to show up at Mania. No, it means his hair's been dyed for over a month, and if he was coming back, don't you think he would dye it literally right before he came back?
I was going to say, like the day before?
Or the day of, he'd have their hairdressers do something to not make it look like old dye.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, spruce it up.
Now, the picture he put up, what I guess is yesterday, the hair looks gray, bro. The hair under his hat looks gray. So,
Definitely.
I mean, I don't know, if it necessarily... I mean, he looks great. He looks absolutely amazing, but I don't know what it means about Mania. It's going to be weird not having him at Mania. I wonder if somehow they're going to have him be Kurt Angle's final opponent, which I wouldn't be awful terrible with, because I don't expect much for Kurt Angle's last match anyway.
No.
But, I mean, they go way back.
Definitely. And if it's a short match like he had against Cena last year at Mania, do like bing, bing, bing.
I really think it should be the guy who had his first match against him, the guy who inducted him in the Hall of Fame, John Cena. I just think that there's too much there. He was John's first match on the main roster. John should be his last, and John's the one who inducted him.
Yeah.
I don't think you...
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, I just don't think you get a story like that too often. Like, you don't... stars don't align.
I agree with you. Lance is saying if they did Angle versus Taker, who wins?
I don't think Angle gets hurt if Taker wins, though. Because it's Undertaker. I know Taker's lost to Roman Reigns, but and Brock, but they were both younger, like, dominant forces. Like, depending on how the commentary is called, depending on how much of a match they can have.
Yeah. One other thing I want to talk about that really bugged me about SmackDown. What the hell is with these name changes, man?
Ali. Part of it has to do with, and, I can kind of feel his pain. He said that, I forgot who he was doing an interview with, and it was surprising me that he was so frank. He said, but they go to a lot of towns, and people who may not have had the network just only hear the name Mustafa, and they boo him.
Huh.
And he says that it's an ongoing thing, like this happens often, that they go out somewhere and he just gets, they hear Mustafa without even knowing, and, and then it's like they don't know what to make of him once they see, like, he's out there high-fiving people, kissing babies, so maybe he's not a bad guy, but they just assume because he has a
just because
Muslim
of his first name being that descent.
Yeah, and he said, it's he's not used to that, and,
All right, well then, okay, that makes sense.
I don't know if that came from WWE. I don't know if that's a request he made. It's unfortunate if he did have to make that request.
Absolutely. Nobody should have to do that in this day and age.
No, but people do. It's a fucked up world, bro.
Definitely. Did you hear the news about Goldust?
I've heard conflicting news.
Yeah, first I read that he was done with the company, and then Dustin himself came out on social media and said he's still under contract, and anything you hear otherwise is BS.
This is why he hates dirt sheets.
Yeah, he hates smart marks.
Smart marks. Yeah, now, apparently also, somebody who had either written into, I think it was, not What Culture, it's the other one over, and it's not Cultaholic. There's another one, Wrestle Talk. Apparently one of their viewers apparently wrote in within the last 24 hours about this and said that he met Goldust at a comic signing a couple weeks ago, like before this became news. And
okay.
He mentioned to Goldust how much he'd like to see him in AEW, and Goldust said, well, he still has 2 more years on his contract. So the kid wrote in to kind of like dispute whatever the report was that Goldust's contract had expired, because Goldust himself had said that, that it wasn't, it didn't necessarily mean that it was true, but a couple weeks ago, when asked, Goldust said, like, as great as it would be, I still have 2 years on my contract.
Huh.
So I'm more prone to believe that...
Yeah, believe someone that went up and legitimately had a conversation with him.
Prior to all of this. However, there has been, and it's probably a red herring purposely done on this. Like, have you heard the thing about, being the, road to Double or Nothing, where they're talking about, he's on the phone with his seamstress, and she asked about colors, and said, well, are we staying away from gold? And he said, no, it should be fine. And then in the past, he had said that who his opponent was personal for him. So people have been speculating that it's Goldust.
Huh.
Because his opponent at Double or Nothing still hasn't been announced yet.
Yeah, it's a quote-unquote mystery opponent.
So some people have been speculating maybe it's Goldust, but if he really has 2 years left on his deal, then it's not. It just sucks that we live in a day and age where fucking a brother can't, even for one fucking match. Like, Goldust is that big of a draw anymore in WWE.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like WWE is really gonna miss him, and but he won't let him go. Fucking go to his brother's show and go work his brother's show for whatever reason. Even though WWE doesn't do shit with him, I think it's fucking ridiculous.
Especially because he's been a good soldier with them for a long time.
Yeah, yeah, he's been with them. I mean, dude was willing to get breast implants. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, that's pretty wild, man. I always
Suppose.
said back in '96, if people didn't freak out as much as they did with that character, he probably would have been world champion at some point.
I don't think so. I think he could have and should have been. I don't think he was ever in the running to. I don't think Vince ever would have seriously considered a character like that as his world champion.
Like when it originally came out, it was that was some, I guess you would say, groundbreaking in a lot of ways.
That was definitely something, yeah. I know, he was definitely something back then. I mean, no, I've always been a fan of the Goldust character. I've always thought he was great. I've always loved that fucking theme song.
Oh yeah.
But
I'm
yeah, but
trying
okay.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Get back onto the women's thing. What do you think this means for going forward?
I don't know,
Do you
because
think this?
I've heard rumblings that they want to have a all women's show on the network.
Oh, okay. Because I just heard that they're not interested in doing another Evolution without Ronda Rousey.
Yes, I did hear that.
Do okay. What's your thoughts on them unifying the women's title?
I wouldn't be opposed to it.
See, I am only because I don't think they should have had a tag title added. I think they needed a women's individual mid-card title, and I think by taking away
Kind of
another
like
singles title,
the Intercontinental title for women.
yeah, like the women's intercontinental title, exactly that. I would have no problem with that for people who aren't quite ready for the belt. And something else that mid-carders could feud over. Instead of having just the two main titles, let the mid-card title float between brands.
Definitely.
So, now I hear baseball music.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care, but just,
Oh, no.
just pointing out that, like,
But I can understand what you're saying. It's just, there's so many belts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I don't think, like, there was no women's tag teams to begin with. If anything, maybe invest in building a tag division. I mean, but then I know it's hard to have a tag division with title. There's a lot of men's titles. There's a lot of women's wrestlers who can wrestle. Like, I didn't give a fuck if Tori Wilson didn't have a title. But I care when women wrestlers don't have an opportunity to advance their career, when there's only 2 belts for the women, for a solo wrestler. I have a problem with that.
I understand. I was never a fan of the women's tag belts in the first place.
Yeah, it's just, I think maybe if you started it on NXT, had a whole bunch of women down on NXT start it, even if it meant some of your main roster women going down there to compete like they've done before with people, and then have an actual roster that needed titles instead of, like, I think a single woman's title would be better.
See, I wouldn't have minded it if it was going to be, and I know you probably won't like this, but if they were going to merge the titles, then okay, well, Raw is the brand that has the women's wrestling on it.
Oh, man. That would go back to that awful brand split that they had in, 2006.
Yeah.
Where SmackDown had the fucking cruiserweights. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was my thought. I was like, maybe that's what they're doing.
I don't know. I also think that the first hour of Raw should be 205 Live exclusively.
Yeah, like how Nitro used to have the cruiserweights on the first hour.
Yeah. And I think it would get everybody hyped. I don't think you need a 20-minute segment with fucking anybody in the ring to start off Monday Night Raw unless it was a big
I
deal.
never understood that. Like, and they don't, and I'll say, and this is going to be try to be fair, I'll say maybe 5 or 6 times out of 100, they'll not have a 20-minute talking segment to open the show.
But why? Because it works. It gets people hooked in for the duration of the show when it's done right. It worked like that for the Attitude Era. Like, you knew what was on the agenda.
Yeah.
When it's done right, man, you're like, I can't fucking wait. Lately, it's just been... It hasn't been planned properly. They go in segment by segment instead of setting the course for something for the full show. And the ones that they do the full show are great. Like
I'll tell you this. It's like, if I know Raw is coming on, I'll have it on and I'll go use the bathroom or make a sandwich or whatever for the first 10 minutes because I know I'm not going to miss anything.
Oh, so see, that's not most fans, though.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, like, I guess you're used to those long talking segments, so you're like, okay, like, you know what I mean?
See, but but that's my point, though. I mean, that is, granted, that's when the most important stuff on the show is said, though. Is, it may not be stuff that's good. The storylines suck, but that's setting the pace for the entire night. Like,
no, I agree with you.
Missing the entire pace of the, like, that, I watch only that, and then I walk away. Because other than that, it's all nonsense. Like, that's the only storyline building stuff that really seems to ever matter, is when the show starts. After that, nothing seems to fucking matter.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost... I should start doing what you do and watch it back, like, on demand so you can fast forward.
Yeah, I watch what I can. Everything else is fucking fast forward. I mean, it's... Yeah, like, I try to watch a lot of it. Like, I try to be optimistic. Like I told you, the last 2 years, man, if anything, you've become the cynic now.
We've done a role reversal.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm so open-minded with things now. I mean, it's... Now, and it's also because, you notice, news just isn't the way that it used to be anymore. You don't need to follow somebody like Ryan Clark or know, like, an insider in order to get your wrestling news. It's like, what culture has wrestling news? Like, it's all
everywhere.
Over. Yeah, everybody has a Facebook now. You could be in a Facebook group and get wrestling news. So it's less of a niche product, or niche, depending on how people like saying that word.
And what part of the country you're from?
But, yeah, I mean, it's like, now I have friends who are not diehards, but they get the same information we've always gotten.
Yeah, it's a lot more accessible.
So, I mean, I don't know where I was going with that originally, but I was going somewhere with it.
I was reading something about Nakamura earlier that they were reporting that he's, quote-unquote, checked out.
Yeah, that he's only there because his family likes Florida and he likes to surf at this point.
Can't say that I blame him.
No, they turned it into a fucking joke.
And he's getting paid good money so he can go hang out at the beach and surf. Hey, that ain't a bad life.
But, I mean, that's not what he wants to wrestle. I mean, I'm sure he wants to continue his wrestling career, but I guess he also knows that he's towards the end of it, so, I mean, it's like...
Yeah, because his deal's coming up soon, I believe.
I also think that he's prone to stay because he's relocated his family there.
Absolutely.
And his family apparently really likes living in Florida, so...
And I'm sure they would go above and beyond offering him a lot of money just to keep him away from certain people.
Yeah, because that's the other thing, he may be very tempted by AEW, which is also based out of Florida.
So I was going to say, because their headquarters is in Jacksonville.
Yeah, so... I mean,
or at least on the court filings it is. Did you see that WWE has announced they're going to have another women's battle royal at WrestleMania?
Yeah, that's going to be a yearly thing now. I'm cool with that. It's a way to get all the other women onto the WrestleMania card. I mean, yeah, I mean, even if they're not on the main card, no, I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
I'm not okay with Asuka being in it.
Yeah, as of right now, Wikipedia says there's 14 matches.
That's it? I thought it was higher than that. I thought it was higher than that last weekend. They just added 3 matches.
I'm trying to see.
Or maybe I'm wrong. So I know now it's 14.
Yeah, they just don't have... Hang on, I'm trying to read. Bear with me. They just don't have either tag title matches.
Yeah. I actually think there was a lot. Again, I could be wrong, or Vince could completely go away from this. I think there was a lot of groundwork laid down for it's going to end up being. And I don't know if me and you were talking about this before, or if it was me and my buddy Brandon, that I think it's going to end up being New Day and Kofi all walk out as champions. Was that me and you talking about that, or no? Okay. I had said this before SmackDown, that I thought it was going to end up with somehow Kofi and the New Day walking out with belts. And it further backed my theory up by the Usos forfeiting, which I thought was amazing storytelling. I thought that was one of the best SmackDowns I've seen in years this past week.
Yeah.
I thought that gauntlet match was done flawlessly. I think everybody did their part well. The only thing I didn't like is how quick the Good Brothers were beaten. I thought it was perfect, but now that the Usos kind of just forfeited, I could see with the whole, are you guys more than B-plus players? I could see Vince making the Usos defend against the New Day.
Here's the thought. You mentioned Kofi walking out of Mania with the title. Could you see a way where they have either Xavier or Big E turn on him?
It's possible, or the other thing. Because Vince was very weird with how he said whatever he said regarding WrestleMania. It's like, Kofi's going to WrestleMania, and can a B-plus player beat the WWE champion?
Yeah, the way he said it, you could take it many different ways.
He had also asked if the New Day were B-plus players, or if they were a B-plus tag team. What if he was to say, oh no, it's going to be Big E in there instead?
Yeah.
Or Xavier Woods.
That would be shocking.
Although I think WWE has officially started promoting it, but, that doesn't mean anything. Vince can be like, oh no, I never authorized those graphics.
I changed my mind.
Yeah, that's not the be-all, end-all. Just because it's on graphics.
Definitely. So, look, they had the graphic of Alexa versus Trish one-on-one.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that and the women's title, I think, have been just so overbooked that you didn't really need it. I think it was so generic and natural what was happening with Kofi. I understand they needed to get through a couple pay-per-views with it, but I think it could have been done in such...
Yeah.
You could have set it in stone a month and a half ago.
I was going to say that, especially the stuff with the women, they're having them be in a six-person tag on Raw this week.
Yeah. It's the hottest feud you've had in years, despite the overbooked nonsense.
Yeah, it's like, can't you just let it organically go?
Yeah.
That's the best way to say it.
You know, you're right. And the fact that Charlotte tapped out Asuka clean is fucking ridiculous.
I will tell you one thing. I love heel Batista.
Was there a heel Batista this week? That was last week.
I don't think... I'm trying to remember, but I like his, like, mannerisms and... Like, remember you said he's like a villain in a movie?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, I love it. I just didn't think there was anything new with him this week. I think it was Triple H this week.
It was the thing where if Triple H loses, he retires.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. It's
Is it mean of me to say I want Batista to win now so Triple H doesn't wrestle anymore?
I don't know. I guess I just don't have a problem with it. Just so long as he's not fighting for the title. I mean, it's like, that's what my problem lies, is I don't think Triple H should be in the title picture, but it's like, for like WrestleMania is always that time of the year where this stuff is supposed to happen. You're supposed to have celebrities. You're supposed to have SNL guys in the Battle Royal. You know, people may harp and complain and bitch and moan, but name a WrestleMania that didn't have some celebrity interaction. I mean, like, that's part of what WrestleMania is. It's not wrestling. That is sports entertainment at its finest. Like, it's not wrestling. You want wrestling, you go to Wrestle Kingdom. WrestleMania is sports entertainment.
You're right. Oh, that reminds me. I just remembered this as I'm scrolling through. Did you hear the stuff about Lucha Underground this week?
No. What's the update?
Joey Ryan, Evilise, Thunder Rosa, and I'm going to try and pronounce the name, El Hijo del Fantasma, were all granted their releases.
Oh. Confirmed. Everybody's going to fucking AEW.
They settled their lawsuits.
Oh, good. I mean, I don't think that show's coming back. I think they're done. I think they wanted to come back, but I don't... Like, it's been so long since they taped the last one.
I heard that the last season wasn't very good.
I don't know how it was, because I still never got past... I think I watched up to the second season, and I couldn't find the third season.
Well, I shouldn't say... As compared to previous seasons, it didn't live up what I heard.
Okay.
Because I don't want to, bash it. It's just I heard it wasn't as good.
Yeah, no, I love the concept of it, and I think that's what Cody said they want to try to accomplish, like something more in that vein than just a traditional wrestling show, which I'd be open to. I mean, like, it's a cool concept. It just, it ran its course with, what they had. I mean, it was cool. Like, I liked the fact that they had the cameras shoot it in the way that they did, so it wasn't always like, haha, we're obvious that the cameras are here, because that's always been like the weirdest part of wrestling, like that whole Naomi and
the cameras are there, but we don't know it.
Yeah, whereas I like it better when it's shot like Lucha Underground, where it's shot
the way they shoot
like
it is really well done.
Yeah, it's shot more in the same vein as a TV show. It's not shot as we're supposed to be live right now.
Did you hear that there's some issues with Pac at the moment?
With his visa?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that applied to this coming month for whatever show he was supposed to do.
He had to pull out of WrestleCon. Yeah.
Now, I don't know what that means for him going forward. I don't know how long it takes to resolve these visa issues. I have 0 point of reference. It's...
I know. I'm just like, if that's the case, then Cody and company, their backs are up against the wall.
I mean, it's something that I'm sure that they've been aware of. I mean, it's...
Right. I'm assuming it's just a lot harder to get them currently.
Because it's not just a visa; it's also a work visa, like permit to work. Because people don't realize that you can't just come to this country and work. Like there has to be special permits filed. And I don't know what all that entails. Part of being with the WWE is having an amazing fucking legal team that's able to get all this stuff done for you.
Yeah, it always makes it a lot easier when you got a legal team.
Yeah, especially one like WWE's. So.
Where they're probably on call.
Yeah, and this is, it's something that they deal with, it's like a specialty of theirs. Like, you have different lawyers do different things. So if you have a whole department that is used to dealing with like international relations and visas and stuff like that, like that's their shit. That's what they know.
Here's some interesting news I'm just reading as I'm talking to you. AAA is sent out a press release yesterday that they're going to be hosting a press conference at Madison Square Garden in New York City next week.
Oh, I know about what the fuck is his name? UFC fight. Cain Velasquez is making a AAA debut.
Interesting.
Yeah. I thought that's what you were going to say when you said AAA. I heard that the other day.
No, what it says here is, according to the press release, the conference will be a chance for AAA's top executive to share his vision for Lucha Libre's next chapter. Also, there is expected to be a confirmation that AAA will begin touring the United States in September.
Oh, that's cool.
That's very interesting.
It's a fucking wrestling boom, bro.
There's a big boom.
I mean, it's, hopefully, people really begin to benefit from it. I mean, like, people seem to be starting to. I mean, people seem to have multiple places to work. That means money's going up, offers are going up, and, the next, couple years are going to be good. Now, I don't know if All Elite's going to succeed. I think they could fail miserably, but, it's like I see people like, oh, it's a t-shirt company. Like, yo, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, go watch John Cena then. Like, go watch Roman Reigns for the rest of your life. Like, that, or what I fucking hate is like, oh, I don't know any, like the guys on Impact. Look, there's a difference between getting a bunch of guys you don't know and getting shitty guys. Impact's been getting pretty decent guys lately. It's the show in and of itself is getting better. So the people shit all over these fucking no names. Well, okay, go watch Randy Orton then. Go watch somebody you do know.
And I was gonna say, and most of those guys are OVE's guys. They're all like students from their school.
What, everybody in Impact now?
A lot of them are, yeah.
I mean, good for them then. I mean, it's obviously something's going right. It's. And then what do you think about it? Did you see fucking Sawyer of Fulton is now part of OVE?
You beat me to it. I was gonna say, yeah. He just joined them.
That's interesting.
He's a big dude.
Yeah, he really seems to be a large individual.
I saw him at an indie show once. He's a very large human being.
I know, that's
good. I'm just happy for him that he kind of found something, because he was just kind of doing nothing for a while.
I thought he was hurt. I thought, it's... But then again, I don't know if WWE was going to release him injured, but I really wouldn't...
Because I saw him work the indies. It's probably been, I'll say, within the last year.
Oh, okay.
At the very... most. I'm trying to say probably within the last calendar year. Oh, whoa, here's some other interesting that isn't really kind of wrestling related. I mean, sort of, kind of. But as I'm scrolling through my news feed, Linda McMahon has stepped down from the Small Business Administration.
Do they say why?
Hang on.
No chance.
Doesn't say why.
Oh. Fucking Linda McMahon. Fucking WrestleMania theme song lady.
Yeah, and Lance said, talking about work visas in the USA, good luck AAA.
Oh, yeah, with this fucking president, yeah.
Definitely. There's so
Look
many...
at all these luchadors. Look at them. They're all fighters. Lucha means to fight.
Oh, my God. That's hilarious.
We need to build a bigger wall. You see how these guys jump?
Oh, wow. Here's something interesting I wasn't aware. It says WWE's going to go back to MSG and have Raw.
Interesting. When is this?
September.
Interesting.
September 9th. And they're going to do SmackDown as well. They're going to do back-to-back.
Interesting.
I'm shocked because I heard how expensive it is to be in the Garden now.
I guess...
Well, it's more so for TV.
And I guess James Dolan, and Vince McMahon, I mean, they're buddies, I'm sure, Yeah,
I heard rumors he wants to sell, but I don't believe it.
Who, Dolan?
Yeah.
I think he wants to sell... I think he wants to sell the teams, not the building.
Okay.
I think he wants to sell the Knicks. I don't think he wants to sell the Rangers. I'm sure he doesn't want to sell the because they don't own the property.
Okay.
But I don't think he wants his ties to everything else. I just don't think he wants the basketball team, but nobody wants the fucking Knicks. Would you? No, thank you.
I was going to ask you what you're doing this weekend before we get out of here, but I just remembered you're getting on a jet plane.
And then on a cruise ship.
Yeah, when is the cruise actually start?
Sunday to Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, I get off Sunday. I mean, there's maybe a chance I'm actually going to get to see WrestleMania, live or close to live, but I'm not going to let it interfere with fucking... I
messaged you when you said you would be able to do this today. It all works out because next Friday is TakeOver.
Oh, that's right. So, yeah, we wouldn't be doing it anyway.
So me and Lance are going to do the live TakeOver special.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's a programming note for everyone that's listening. We're still going to do Rewind on Thursday, this coming Thursday, but then we're going to do TakeOver coverage Friday.
So not necessarily for us, but some feedback I've heard about live coverages is that nobody is all equal. So either people are ahead or behind, and it gets very distracting when... That's
good to know.
Yeah, I'm just to throw that out there, because I've heard other people talk about it, because I've tried to watch synchronated things, because Joe Rogan does the Fight Companion sometimes.
Yes.
And if it's not synced up completely, I feel so out of whack.
No, I know what you're saying. You're so confused.
Yeah, so I mean, no,
it's good food for thought.
Yeah, just as a metric, to keep in your mind. But yeah, other than that, just plan on seeing some cool stuff. We're gonna go to a spice farm. I know, some Mayan ruins in Belize.
Take lots of pictures.
I plan on it. I look very forward.
And don't get blocked on Facebook.
Oh no, I have at least one active profile at the moment. So. Yeah, the other one will come back probably Monday or so, but by that time I'm gonna be out. I look forward to the most is going out on the Mississippi. That's how we leave from New Orleans, because New Orleans is fairly inland. And if you look, there's one bit of the Mississippi that takes you all the way out. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm into all that nature shit. That's a little known Ryan fact. Yeah, instead of Matt facts, we'll get some Ryan facts tonight.
Definitely.
But yeah, I will see everybody, or I'll talk to everybody in 2 weeks. I hope everybody enjoys WrestleMania. Fuck. Do you want to? What time is it? Do you want to do a real quick rundown of what we think's gonna happen at Mania?
Yeah, we can do it quick because I think it's kind of cut and dry, to be honest with you.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be anything too shocking.
All right, let's go. I'm just gonna go straight from the bottom up.
Okay.
The women's battle royal.
Is Lacey Evans announced? Because if she is, I'm gonna pick her.
You might chuckle when I say this. They're gonna throw Asuka a bone and let her win it.
Okay, let's see.
All right. Fatal 4-way for the women's tag titles. Bayley and Sasha, Beth and Natalya, the Iconics, and Nia Jackson, Tamina.
I think they retain.
Yeah, I do too.
If not, my other choice would be Beth Phoenix and whatchamacallit, but I think it's gonna, because of what we said before about the main event with all four Horsemen belts. I think that alone is going to guarantee the Boston Hug Connection win.
All right, Roman Reigns and against Drew McIntyre.
I mean, unless WWE wants to pull a massive heel swerve, I'm going to go with Roman.
Yeah, I want Drew to win to finally give him his big push, but I'm going Roman.
I mean, remember, you fucking Vince put Brock over Undertaker, so I mean, it wouldn't
never say never.
Exactly.
All right, Bobby Lashley defending his Intercontinental title against Finn Balor.
Based on rumors, I think he's going to be the Demon, and I can see him winning if he's the Demon, Finn. If not, Lashley.
I agree. I'm pretty sure it's a Demon, so Finn will probably win.
Yeah, apparently it's on signage in Jersey on the trains up and around the stadium.
Okay.
That it's him in the Demon get up.
Interesting.
So that's what people are beginning to speculate. So.
All right. Next, we have Samoa Joe defending the U.S. title against Rey Mysterio.
I don't know, but fucking Dominic gets choked out.
Yeah. I think Joe retains.
Yeah, I think Joe retains and then Dominic gets choked out. Somehow Dominic's getting involved.
Yeah.
They wouldn't just suddenly bring him in, and apparently he's been training to be a wrestler.
Yes.
Yo, bro, how big is that kid?
He's a big kid.
Yo, he could go someplace with Ray, and people would be like, oh, your kid's cute. Talking about Ray.
Yeah.
But yeah, either way, Joe's gonna fucking destroy Dominic afterwards.
Yeah.
So.
All right. The Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
I don't know. I think it's gonna be awful. I think it's gonna be another comedy thing with Braun. I don't have a clue.
I'll just say Braun because he's really the only quote-unquote name in it.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I could also see somehow the two fucking SNL guys eliminating Braun.
That too. I'm just going throwing it out there, see what sticks.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, AJ going one-on-one with Randy Orton.
Kind of see AJ winning this.
Yeah, especially since he signed a new deal now.
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet.
I'll go with Styles. Next, we have Shane McMahon and The Miz, Falls Count Anywhere.
See, because Shane's heel, so it makes me wonder. Because all this stuff that would make me think Shane was going to lose if he was a good guy makes me think he may win. But I still think it's going to be Miz. Fuck, it has to be The Miz.
Yeah, I'll take The Miz. Here we go. Kurt Angle's farewell match for right now. Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin.
If it's Corbin, Angle has to win. They can't let Baron Corbin. I mean, but I could also see Vince doing that to try to get heel heat.
Like Angle doing the favors.
even worse than just doing the favorites, I can see like Vince just being like, "Oh, they're gonna hate it and they're gonna boo so loud, and we're trying to get Corbin over, and that's all we care about is that one moment at WrestleMania with Corbin getting booed out of the building."
Yeah.
So, I'd like to see Angle win, but I have a feeling if it's gonna be Corbin, I think Vince may put Corbin over.
All right, I'll go with Angle. Play it safe.
Okay.
Next, we have Triple H one-on-one against Batista. No holds barred. If he loses, he must retire.
See, this is another interesting one because Dave Batista's already said that this is his final match. So, in essence, 2 careers could technically be resolved with one thing. I may pick Batista for this because who else could Triple H really fight at this point?
Yeah.
I mean, unless he's going to do Saudi Arabia stuff, I don't know. I mean, like, the logical thing is Triple H is going to win, but...
I'll go with Batista.
Yeah, I think maybe we'll both go with Batista.
All right. We have Buddy Murphy defending the Cruiserweight title against Tony Nese.
I didn't even know that was a match, but I'm going to stick it with Buddy. But, they could also switch it WrestleMania weekend. Especially that Tony Nese is from New York.
Yeah. Either way, I think it's a fantastic match.
Yeah. I know Buddy's had that fucking belt forever, ever since they were in Australia.
Lance has an interesting idea. Ric Flair causes Triple H to lose.
Huh. That's interesting.
I'd be okay with that.
I'm just happy that they haven't evolved Flair yet. Oh, yeah, it started with Flair. That's right.
But they haven't since that.
Yeah, no, yeah. That could very well be.
Yeah, that's a good idea. All right, next we have Brock Lesnar defending his Universal title against Seth Rollins.
Seth.
Yeah, I think Seth gets his moment.
Okay.
Let me see here. What else is left? Daniel Bryan defending the WWE Championship against Kofi Kingston.
I'm good. My heart says Kofi. So I don't know if they're going to switch both main titles in one WrestleMania. And the women's main title, which I expect to come off of Ronda. But yeah, I'd like to see Kofi win it.
I agree with you. That's why I'm going to take Bryan. I think they're going to get everybody excited and let him down.
I don't know, though. I think it may be a fucking riot if Kofi loses at Mania.
You really think so?
I think so. I mean, I think there are people legitimately upset with the storyline. I think it's that good of a storyline that people legitimately getting upset over it. And I think at this point, I think this week kind of redeemed it, but I was so over it last week with the constantly screwing him out. He was over already. You screw people over to get them over. It comes to a point where you're literally just beating a dead horse, and it's I don't know if the brutality of the cruelness actually is.
I know what you mean.
Okay, maybe in Vince's head, it's yeah, I'm getting big heat, but eventually people just over it. Okay, we get it. You're the bad guy, and we get it.
Something in me just makes me believe Bryan's gonna win.
It's possible, but I could also see Bryan being a strong advocate for putting the belt on Kofi.
That too. I'm just saying, if you held a gun to my head, I think Bryan's gonna keep it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. And I think that's a logical choice. I really think given the situation, given who's involved, with Bryan being the one involved, I could see him really strongly advocating to give Kofi this opportunity, because this was him a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And this is a guy who told Vince, I'm not going to Saudi Arabia. Didn't go. And won the title 2 weeks later. We were like, oh, he's going to be in the doghouse.
Oh, by the way, if he comes out with a Captain Planet motif, I'm going to pop.
I know, you've been saying that. I don't think he will, though.
I know, it would just be cool. All right, and last but certainly not least, Ronda Rousey defending the Raw Women's Championship against Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair?
I'm going to go with Becky Lynch.
I think she's actually going to pin Ronda.
I think so too, and I think somehow Charlotte's going to still walk out with the title. I don't think Becky's walking out dual champion.
No, I don't either.
Come Tuesday, I expect Charlotte to still be champion.
I agree.
But I think she's gonna, and I think that's gonna be the rule. Whoever gets the pinfall,
whoever pins whom becomes the champion of that brand.
Yeah, wins that title. Yeah.
Or yeah, that's what I meant to say.
But what I don't get is my only caveat to that is what if somebody pins Becky?
Yeah.
The match is over, but then nobody wins the title. I mean, it's an interesting caveat for two belts. It's like if you were going to throw two belts into one match, how would you do it? Do you really want to pin this person then? That person's out.
I think if it's true that Ronda's leaving for some time or maybe not even coming back, she has to be pinned or submitted.
Unless they want to bring her back as the undefeated champion to reclaim her title.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a couple ways that they could go with this. She just can't walk out with the title.
I agree with you.
And I don't think Charlotte walking out with both titles is helpful either. So by process of elimination, I see Becky Lynch walking out with the Raw title.
There you go.
So.
But on that note, we're going to get out of here for tonight. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, give it a thumbs up, all that stuff. And we'll see you back next time. Have a good night, everybody.